I've been an Apple user for 15 years, and I believed it can't be any better than this. But looking at the 16 Pro today, I think I was wrong. For the last 60 days, I've put my iPhone 16 Pro aside and switched to the Galaxy Z Fold 7. And now, I'm not sure if I want to go back. Look, I didn't just use iPhones. I fix them for a living as an Apple service technician. So I was deeply invested in the ecosystem. But for the last year or two, I got a little bit bored and started looking over the fence. While the iPhone is amazing at what it does, foldables got me excited again. And the last time I felt this way was when the iPhone X was released. To be honest, I feared switching to Android for quite some time, but the moment I picked up the Z Fold 7, I caved. There was one thing that really pushed me over the edge. It actually feels like a normal phone. I expected a fat, bulky design, something heavy, but it caught me off guard. It's thin, it's light, and when it's folded, it feels like a completely normal phone. But the moment you unfold it, that's the game changer. The screen is massive, bright, and super smooth. It's so slim when you open it up that it almost doesn't feel true. Even the folding feels a lot better this year, and the hinge feels rock solid. After the transfer process from my iPhone to the Z Fold 7 finished, which was way easier than I expected, all I did was plug in a USB-C to C cable and picked exactly what I wanted to transfer during the initial setup. I actually decided to start completely fresh rather than copy everything over. I moved my photos and my contacts, but I didn't move any of the apps. I wanted to install them, one by one, and really get to know One UI, which is Samsung's version of Android. But once that initial wow factor wore off, I started testing the device with day-to-day usage to see how it actually performs. Forget the spec sheets, there are plenty of those reviews. My focus today will be the everyday experience of switching to the Galaxy Z Fold 7. After a few days of usage, I started appreciating that narrower design. It makes one-handed use very pleasant, so after I picked up my 16 Pro again, it honestly felt a lot different. Because of the narrower design, your thumb lands directly on the side button, which also serves as a fingerprint reader. I like that very much, but honestly, I still prefer Apple's Face ID, especially now in the winter when I have to enter my PIN with my winter gloves on. Moving on to the cameras, honestly, they are very good. They might not match the 16 or 17 Pro or even the S25 Ultra, and this is especially noticeable in the low light conditions. But for a foldable this thin, I'm still impressed. And what about the battery? Honestly, I wish Samsung included a silicon carbon battery like some other brands, but the battery still gets me through a full day, and that's what truly matters. Running two eSIM cards, I normally get around 5 to 6 hours of mixed usage, unplugging at 7 AM and plugging back around 10 PM. Charging tops at 25 watts, not the fastest, but perfect for overnight. Plus a cool bonus that I really like, you can actually charge your earbuds on the back of your phone, which is a really nice feature to have. So that's hardware, but what about the actual software experience? One UI is actually a massive highlight for me, as you can change almost anything. I've set up themes, widgets, and quick settings exactly how I like them. It's very nice to have that much control. But the thing I like the most is the Galaxy routines. I have a few set up that I use every day. Like, for example, I have one whenever I'm on home Wi-Fi, my phone should stay unlocked. It's a small thing, but honestly, not having to scan my thumb every time I'm sitting on my couch is a massive difference. I've even have it set so my phone is only loud when at home, so I do not have to worry about it ringing when I'm out. Let's talk about AI. To be honest, Gemini feels a bit more polished and a lot better integrated than Apple Intelligence, at least for what I do day to day. I don't use all the AI features, but for example I use Circle to search every day. You just circle something on the screen and it instantly finds what you're looking for. And Photo Assist is actually really useful too. Being able to just tap to remove a person or an object from a photo is actually very useful. On this big screen, I actually enjoy using it. But look, I have to be honest. Switching isn't easy, especially because quite a lot of people around me use iPhones. There are certain features on iOS that are unique to Apple's ecosystem, and you really notice it when you're the person on the other side. Missing out on things like iMessage and Find My Friends was probably the biggest worry for me, and honestly, it still is. I've switched over to WhatsApp for texting and to Google Maps for sharing my location with family and friends. But it just doesn't feel as seamless as it did on iOS. I also had to replace AirDrop with an app called Local Send, which actually works very well for transferring data from my Android phone to my Mac. But again, it's an extra step. The one thing I'm getting used to are the apps itself. Some of them just don't feel as optimized as they did on iOS, especially social media. The animations and the scrolling just feel a bit more polished on iPhone. Long story short, you can get almost anything working on Android, but you need a few third-party apps. On iOS, it just works by itself, without you even knowing. So, after 2 months with the Galaxy Z Fold 7, here's what I think. It brought a lot of excitement. After years of Apple, things were starting to feel a bit boring. Even though I was nervous trying Android, Samsung, and One UI all together, I'm really happy I made the switch. The Z Fold 7 is fun, versatile, and it makes me feel like I'm not so locked into the Apple's ecosystem anymore. The folding experience is the biggest thing for me. I don't even grab my iPhone anymore. On the train, on the couch, none of that. It basically replaced my tablet. So yes, I'll definitely keep using the Z Fold 7. Although, I did just get myself a 17 Pro Max to see if this can win me back. And I would say for anyone curious of trying, the Samsung's Galaxy Z Fold 7 is worth a serious look. So we made it to the end of the video. If you liked it, please comment, like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.